All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving right into the grammar of imagination. We're going to get the hang of those powerful what if sentences. You know, the ones we use to talk about our biggest dreams and maybe even some of our deepest regrets. You know that feeling, right? You're sitting there, maybe at your desk, just staring out the window and thinking, man, what if my reality, right this second, was completely different? Or what about the past? Maybe you look back on a decision you made and just get stuck wondering, what if? How could everything have changed if you'd just done one little thing differently? Well, here's the cool part. English actually gives us specific, special tools just for this kind of thinking. They let us build and explore these entire imaginary worlds with total clarity. So let's jump in and check out the first one. Okay, first up, let's talk about dreaming. Dreaming of a different present or a different future. This is where this thing called the second conditional comes into play. It's super useful. So here's the key thing to remember. The second conditional is for hypothetical situations. It's how we talk about what would happen if our current reality were different. We're not talking about real things or even likely things. We're talking pure imagination. And, like any good tool, there's a formula to it. But don't worry, it's a pretty simple two-step recipe. The if part, the part that sets up the dream, uses the simple past tense. Then the result, the outcome of that dream, uses would, could, or might, plus the basic verb. Okay, let's look at a classic example. If I had $1 million, I would buy a new computer. See that? The if part uses had, simple past, and the result part uses would buy. And this is what's so cool about it. What this sentence is really saying is that in the real world, I don't have $1 million, so I am not buying that computer. It's just a fun, imaginary idea. Now, there is one little quirky rule you gotta know about. When you're using the verb to be in that if clause, we pretty much always use were. For I, he, she, it doesn't matter. It's like a secret code that tells your listener, hey, we're in dreamland right now. For instance, the classic phrase, if I were you, I would take that job. I mean, I can literally never be you, right? So using were makes it super clear this is just some friendly, hypothetical advice. Okay, so that's how we dream about the present. But what if we want to go back and imagine a different past? Well, for that, we need our second big tool, the third conditional. Think of the third conditional as your own personal grammar time machine. It's all about looking back at a past situation that didn't happen and then imagining what that impossible result would have been. This is the language of regret for sure, but also relief. Now, the formula here is a little bit beefier, but it makes total sense because we're going further back in time. The if part needs the past perfect. That's had plus the past participle. And the result? That's would have, could have, or might have plus another past participle. Here's a perfect, and maybe a little too relatable example. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the test. Oof. You can almost feel the regret in that sentence, can't you? And again, just like before, the reality is hidden right there in the grammar. The sentence is telling us, in the real world, I didn't study hard, and because of that, I didn't pass. The past is locked in. It happened. We're just playing the what-if game about it. All right, so we've got these two awesome tools for exploring what-ifs. Let's put them head-to-head to make the differences totally crystal clear. Okay, this chart really breaks it all down for us. First, just look at that use row. Simple, right? The second conditional is for the present or the future, our dreams. The third conditional, that's for the past, our regrets. And then look at the formulas. The second uses the simple past and would. The third just shifts everything one step further back into the past, using the past perfect and would have. It's actually a really neat and logical system. So, what's the big deal with all this? Why does getting the hang of this actually matter? Because, and this is really the most important part, this isn't just about boring grammar rules. These are tools. They are the tools we use to express who we are, our hopes, our dreams, our regrets, and the stories we tell ourselves about the paths we didn't take. So I'm going to leave you with a little something to chew on. Using that powerful third conditional we just talked about, if you could reach back and rewrite just one moment from your past, what would you have done differently? The answer? Well, the answer really reveals the story you tell yourself about your own life.